It will be Yaya Toure, the free kick specialist.
They're looking better for me.
Ilano won it initially. It's now with Petrov. Ilano. Petrov!
Much better.
It's a double for the Bulgarian.
Who does not carry on his run. Mcinerney puts it across, and it is finished by James Milner.
Zabaleta, quick exchange with Wright Phillips, decent cross too, and it's in from Benjani. It's a perfect start for Manchester City as they look to revive their Premier League fortunes.
Side. Oh, that's a terrific goal by Richard Dunn, and Manchester City have grabbed the lead 23 minutes into the second half. It was nodded down to him, and he absolutely blashed it into the net. Specialist.
Welcome to Match Day Live for this big FA Cup game against Fulham. Now, including replays, this will be the fifth FA Cup match between City and Fulham, with City running out 4-0 winners most recently in the same round in 1920. Fulham have failed to progress to the fifth round of the FA Cup on 6 of the last 7 occasions they played in round 4, managing to do so in 16-17. This comes after progressing from 10 straight fourth round ties between 98-99 and 10-11. What a brilliant stat. In the club's history, only against Watford and West Brom have City recorded a longer sequence of consecutive wins over their current 11-match winning run over Fulham, going all the way back to 2012. You can see the team arriving there at West Reception. There's Mooney waving to them all. Welcome to Matchday Live. Thank you very much for joining us on this FA Cup fourth round day. My name is Natalie Pike, and later on I am going to be tag teaming the presenting duties with our Spellman, so there'll be a switch around at some point. But when I heard about our guests today, I thought I have to at least steal 5 or 10 minutes of Kel's time so that I can meet them and ask them some questions. So I'm joined in the studio by podcast extraordinaire David Mooney and the excellent YouTuber. I am a subscriber. I love his content. It is Stephen Mcinerney.
Cheers. Checked on the post. Thank you.
Right. Coming up on the show today, we have a packed show as always. We have transfer news. We're going to be chatting about those all-important contract extensions that have happened during the January transfer window. And a new game today. It's called Who's That? Ooh. And then we'll be getting all the fans involved for an FA Cup special. Oh, there's Big Steve! I saw Big Steve on Twitter. He was brilliant. So that is what is happening on today's Match Day Live. Right, the all-important team news. As you know, this is the first place to get your team news, so thank you for joining us. Here's your starting 11 for today's FA Cup game against Fulham. So, in goal, it is Zach Stefan. And then it is Walker, Stones, Ake, Cancelo. It is Fernandinho, who is captain today. Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, and he's back from AFCON, it's Riyad Mahrez. And then your bench for today. Edison, Diaz, Sterling, Zinchenko, Laporte, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Delap, and McAtee. So that is your starting 11 and your subs bench for today's FA Cup game against Fulham. So I'm going to speak to my superstar guests now and get their thoughts on this team and on the game ahead. David, welcome. Is this your first time in the studio?
It is, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm really good. It's so nice to see you. I have been listening to your podcasts for many, many years.
That doesn't make me feel any younger.
Me neither.
You're old.
Me neither, because I think I was listening to your stuff about 15 years ago. So.
Yeah. I'm suddenly realising the question: what have you done with your life? And I've done a lot of podcasts. Is what I've done.
You've done a lot of watching City.
Yeah, mainly.
Which is a great life, if you ask me.
If you can get away with it. If you can get away with it now.
And Stephen, you're another one that watches City for a living. It's glorious, isn't it?
It's not bad, to be honest. It's been worse.
I'm just having this realisation. Are we stealing a living? Is that what we're doing?
Yes. Well done, man. I'll take it.
Congratulations to you both. And now you're here in the studio with me. Right, Stephen, let's have a look at this starting 11. First of all, is this team, were you expecting this team? Because I know you do your predictions every week. So how close were you?
I didn't get round to it, I'll be honest, this week. I'm sorry, I didn't get
amateur.
Yeah, I know. House problems. I'm going to blame that. But in general, I think we all knew it'd be a strong team. Guardiola doesn't ever take these competitions lightly, and with a 2-week break as well, which I didn't even know was coming. It felt so weird. Suddenly City not playing, but with that, he'll want the players to get the rhythm and get some minutes get some minutes on the pitch. Essentially, find their sharpness ahead of Brentford, because obviously as well, this is going to be difficult. We need a strong team for rhythm, but we need a strong team to beat a very good side who are absolutely flying at the moment. It's top versus top, obviously, in the Championship. I expected some combination of the players there, but I knew it would be essentially, a very strong side, and this is what we got.
So starting at the goalkeeper there, David, we knew it would be Zach Stefan, plays in all the cup competitions. He is an excellent second goalkeeper, isn't he?
I find it really weird that he is City's second goalkeeper, because I had a realisation earlier in the season, I can't remember which game it was, but there was a game here where Edison had been away on international duty and COVID restrictions meant he couldn't play. I think they flew him straight to the European game for Bruges. And I remember thinking, after hearing Pep say that in the press conference, I'm not really that bothered, because Stefan comes in and he does what Edison does. I mean, Edison is still, the number one goalkeeper for what City want. But you look at the way he slots in. It's like he's been playing with this team for years. So you have no qualms about swapping him in. And you think, well, you think of teams having second choice goalkeepers. Like there must be somewhere where there must be people knocking on the door to get him as their first.
Definitely. And then a big shout as well to third goalkeeper. Obviously, Scott Carson, best third goalkeeper you could hope for as well. So we've got so much talent there. If we're looking at the back line, we've got Walker, Stones, Ake, Cancelo. Stephen, I think when Ake has played this season, he's been excellent.
He's brilliant. He's a really good footballer. We forget as well that he's captain teams and so on beforehand. He's just he's reliable and consistent, and the patience he has to have as well to sit behind often on the bench, the likes of Stones, Laporte and Diaz. It says a lot to his character that he's that well liked, and that when he does step in, despite often a lack of game time, he's just reliable. I think we sometimes don't realise just how tough it is to be out the side for so long and then step in and play to that same level. But Ake, I think he's a brilliant player. He's focused, he's got a good turn of pace, and really useful as well for the leadership of the squad. And once again, alongside Stones, Walker, Cancelo, that's a very good back line. And as we were saying, as David was saying as well, with Zach Stefan, there's no fears there for me. It's really solid, and there's a few changes as well, and I guess it just shows how lucky we are once again.
And lucky as well with the centre-backs, because we've got 4 now, and I like them all, and I am happy whatever the combination is. And we've got on the bench Diaz and Laporte. Whatever 2 of those 4 play, I'm good.
Yeah, and I mean, as Stephen was saying about Ake, he had a really hard first season. He spent a lot of that injured, and to be able to come into a team that is coached by Guardiola, we know like central defenders are one of the hardest positions for Pep to have. So Ake came in. He had that tough start. He couldn't get any rhythm with his injuries, and then this season has come in and hit the ground running. So you can't argue with that sort of thing. And as you say, you look at you pick any of those 4, and you don't think, oh, there could be trouble today. You think, well, the opposition are going to have it tough to get through this pair, aren't they?
Yes, exactly. Now, moving up into midfield, I've said it a couple of times on this show, Stephen, I don't want to wish it away because I hope that Fernandinho plays at this club forever and ever. He's like he's eternal, isn't he?
Nowhere.
Oh, he's eternally youthful. I just want him to play forever. But whenever he starts now, for me, it feels like a really special occasion because I want to enjoy every game that he plays.
Oh yeah, make the most of it because he's a genuine club legend, and we're in a very lucky generation where we have every year it feels like new ones added to the collection of players that we deeply love. And Fernandinho is reaching that he's reached it, if we're being honest, that elder statesman level of the club. And once again, like Ake, another leader, and another one that means so much to the players around him. And he's just so reliable and so brilliant and so beautiful. And I wanted him to stay forever too. And
did you see the picture with him with hair this week? That
resurfaced?
What? Yeah, I know.
A second hair-related scandal this week in the world of Manchester City.
It popped up on Twitter. It was Fernandinho with a full head of hair, and I was like, I don't recognise
Grealish.
Yeah.
Wonder if he got Grealish and stuck it on, eh?
Wait, that was an old picture.
It was an old picture, definitely
I
an
thought
old
it was
picture.
about
Before he
FA Cup
joined.
surprise, unfortunately, coming out.
That would be some surprise.
Well, it was enough of a surprise about Grealish's hair, wasn't it, Stephen? Oh, my goodness. Kids around the
Crying
world
in
throwing
the street,
them headbands down. Now, he starts today, of course, Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, and then Riyad Mahrez as well. Again, we're so unbelievably blessed with whoever plays.
It's hilariously strong, isn't it? You look at, when they always say, you play the kids in the cup, and then you look at the team Guardiola's picked, and you're like, well, that team should win a Premier League game. So, he's taking the competition seriously, and that's what we want. That front, I was going to say front 3, but it's not, is it? It's a front 5 or so. That they all rotate positions. It's so hard to play against, and they all bring their own kind of individual qualities. So it'll be a real test for Fulham against a really strong City lineup.
Yeah, were you expecting... So we've got James McAtee and we've got Delap on the bench there, Stephen. Are you hoping that they might come on?
Yeah, I mean, we hope we will see them because I think all City fans want to see young academy players on the bench, and I'm hoping we see McAtee, especially after his contract as well this week, and obviously signing a new contract, a guy that's been at the club forever, a local lad as well. You do want to see him get some minutes because it's almost like as well the club showing that, look, you've had faith in us, you've extended despite interest elsewhere, and now we have got a pathway planned for you, so we will essentially reward that loyalty with some minutes. That would be really nice to see, but I think we all know it's probably going to be, if they get on the pitch, if City are winning relatively comfortably, and we've seen it before with Foden and Palmer in the past and other academy players. I'm hoping we get the second half and we're 60 minutes through, and fingers crossed things look comfortable. We can see McAtee and Delap as well, who's had a really torrid time with injuries, unfortunately. It's a bit of a shame for Delap because, he could have maybe got involved in pre-season, but injuries have curtailed his season so far, but it's good to see him back in the first team squad because he's a brilliant player, Delap, and likewise McAtee.
Yeah, so great news about his contract extension. I mean, there was some really great news with contract extensions. Obviously, the big one that came out this week was João Cancelo signed a new deal. David, how happy were you when you heard that?
Delighted, and he is. I mean, he's a fullback, but is he a fullback? So
He's a footballer.
Yeah, he just kind of he gets picked and then kind of goes, oh no, it's like you're giving a free role to the fullback. He plays wherever he wants to play, and he plays really well. And we talk for every summer. City fans saying, well, what positions do you want to address? And the left back just does not come into question at the minute because of how consistently good Cancelo has been. And don't forget, we signed him as a right back. So, like the fact that he's come in and gone, this isn't my position, but watch what I can do. just incredible. So the fact that they've signed him up for a contract, he wants to stay and he wants to be part of this. It's only good news.
It does feel like he could literally play anywhere on the pitch, like you wouldn't be surprised. So his new deal means that he's going to be remaining at the Etihad until the summer of 2027, by which time he will have been with us for 8 years, joined in the summer of 2019. So far, he's played 106 games and won 3 major trophies, and he will, of course, be hoping to add a few more to that total this season. Now, I know, Stephen, you are a big fan of the Cancelo culture.
Yeah, he's just such an elegant, classy man, isn't he? I love footballers who make the game look easy. I love footballers who essentially do things that you go, you see a footballer who makes you feel absolutely inferior with your own abilities. You're like, I'm all right sometimes at five-a-side, but then someone like Cancelo, it's just the control of the ball and his general motion and the way he glides forward. He makes the game look annoyingly easy. And I remember watching one week thinking at the time where it was, I forgot, my mind's blanked. It was when we played the team in the Carabao Cup recently, and
West Ham?
No, it was a lower league team. I've forgotten. I'm so absolutely blanked.
Oh,
so
Wickham.
Wickham, yeah. We played a really strong team, and he was just wonderful. And like Wickham are a very good side, but the level that he showed ability compared to them, I'm thinking, he was just special, genuinely special. And Cancelo, he's a fiery guy as well. And I love Guardiola saying this week in the press conference how he wasn't happy when he wasn't playing, and he needed a little bit of time to be understood and so on. And people like him, that dedication they have to football and that dedication to improve. He lifts all those around him.
He could have left, couldn't he? He could have gone, this isn't working, let's try somewhere new, and he didn't. He knuckled down and got on with it. So you can't ask for more than that for attitude.
And that is definitely something for all the young kids out there, for other players out there, patience, learning, listening to the manager and developing, and he certainly has, and he's absolutely phenomenal. Of course, today is the 4th round of the FA Cup. In the 3rd round, we played Swindon. Let's have a look back at some of those goals. Right, gents, give us your thoughts on these 3rd round goals.
The first goal is Bernardo scores it, but it's all about Cole Palmer, isn't it? And you watch as he gets to the byline, he drives in there, he turns the defenders inside out, and then it'd be very easy to panic and go, I'm going to smash this at goal, but he doesn't. Gets his head up, sees Bernardo in space, and gets it across.
This was the game I was on about, not Wickham. But Cancelo in this game was fantastic, and these are a good bunch of players. Swindon, they were fantastic. That was just lovely football. Jesus finished and really composed. It's what I loved about this game in general as well, and you can see it by this, is essentially the professionalism you see from this City side. Absolutely no let up, regardless of who we're playing, and I think Swindon appreciated it as well. Genuinely,
this was cheeky though. Wasn't
that was incredible. That was cheeky.
Just gonna pop it in the corner there where the goalkeeper's not quite ready for it. It is there was talk after the game it was a goalkeeping error, but you've still got to find that space.
I feel like this goal, I think like clubs against Premier League teams are almost contractually obliged to score just to give the fans something. I felt I wasn't even that annoyed as a City fan. I was like, it means a lot to them, and I'm not trying to patronise, but I know how much it would have meant to us when we were down there as well. And even though we didn't have many of those days compared, but. Yeah, it was lovely. And this one in particular, for me, Cole Palmer's goal was the highlight of the night because I watch a lot of academy stuff, and when you see a young player and you know that they can do it, you want to see him do it in the first team, surrounded by not just academy players, surrounded by seniors.
You're thinking as well, you're thinking as well, all the way through this game, the one thing he's missed is a goal tonight.
Yeah,
and then he goes and does that, and you're all right, fair enough.
But that skill as well to shoot from there and place in the top corner. Not many players would actually take on that shot in the first place. To have the confidence to do that at that age, I mean, obviously it comes with belief that Guardiola will give the team, but it's just for his own immense ability. Cole Palmer, Prem soon come,
Love that so much. I love him so much because he is just a proper Manc City fan as well. He just loves it, and what an insane
road
goal.
Man, I love it.
Oh yes, I absolutely loved it. Right, we've got a new game for you today. It's called Who's Stat. Let's take a little look. Right, so we're giving you some stats on a player, and you guys have to try and work out who it is. Now, if you immediately know, don't shout it out so everyone can join in. Your clue one is, this player has won the league title in 3 different countries. So it might be a current or former Manchester City player.
Okay.
That's what I can let you know. The player has won the league title in 3 different countries. You got suggestions?
I'm already completely blank, so my credibility is plummeting immediately.
I don't know if I'm right, but I've got an idea or two.
Okay, you've got an idea. So we want your guesses.
England's one of them. I would guess.
Yeah, I hope they've won it with City and this isn't just some elaborate bluff.
Yeah.
Tweet us your answers. Use the hashtag ManCity and let us know on which number clue you got it. This is your first one. The player has won the league title in 3 different countries. Ooh, I like this one. Whose stat? You all know that I like a stat as well, so this is going to be a cracker. Right, gents, keep thinking. We're going to give you another clue a little bit later on.
I'm going to need it. So,
yes,
yeah.
I think I am as well. Yeah, I've got an idea, but yeah, I need a clue. Right, you're going to get your commentary today, as always, on the Manchester City app with the wonderful Alistair Mann. You all know how much I love Alistair Mann. It is the best commentary in the business. City fans, you have to get your commentary on the City app. Today, he's joined by the wonderful Michael Brown. This is their thoughts ahead of the game today.
Well, it's damp and it's gloomy, but the team news is dazzling, to say the very least. Michael, what's the big headline for you?
Well, the headline is how strong Manchester City have gone. Obviously, Stefan and goal will be the talking point. No Edison today, but John Stones coming back in, Nathan Ake, Gundogan, Kyle Walker, Cancelo. That's a strong back four, isn't it? And it's with Fernandinho getting that role as the holding midfield player today. Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne. And a front three, it looks like. I mean, it's always hard to tell, isn't it, with Pep Guardiola, where there's going to be a false nine or whether someone's going to play on the right-hand side. Phil Foden has won, obviously, more game time. Riyad Mahrez and obviously Jack Grealish, who's played that central role at times lately. Will he get an opportunity wide? But it's against the Fulham side, Ali, who score for fun in the Championship. Mitrovic is the one we all talk about. In these Championship games, in the Premier League games or against the bigger clubs, he probably hasn't gone so well. That's an extremely strong squad, isn't it, for City? McAtee as well, signing that contract, making the bench, and a great return to football for Liam Delap.
Yeah, it's good to see Liam Delap and McAtee as well involved. But I just wonder, as we look at that team lineup, whether or not, because what happened to United, because West Ham are having such problems with Kidderminster, I just wonder whether or not there's that feeling that you just don't want to slip up.
I just think, for me, we've always looked at Pep Guardiola in cup competitions thinking, well, he'll change a lot of personnel, but with the break that they've just had, I think he'll feel like he wants to get the minutes back into the legs. A strong side, doesn't want to slip up. He realises it's a momentum game, Brentford on Wednesday. So I feel like he often goes strong. He uses that squad, but you don't really see those wholesale changes that other teams do. FA Cup's very much respected.
Yeah, I think the other thing to mention really is that it's a game against a team who obviously they've got nothing to lose. We always talk about the priorities of a Championship team, but this is a great test for them. I mean, we always say that, but it really is. If you're a Fulham player, you really want to have a go today, don't you?
Well, when they've seen the draw, the Fulham players are thinking, yes, please, they're looking forward to going to the Etihad, testing themselves, and they in the dressing room will be wanting to play against these players. They'll be looking forward to coming out, getting an opportunity, but they realise that it's going to be tough. The family will all be here. They'll need lots of tickets. It's a rainy day. They'll be looking and thinking, it's the FA Cup. Can we be the ones to go and beat Pep Guardiola's Manchester City? And it's a wonderful opportunity. Are they going to be brave enough? I was asked on City Square, are they to come out and play and press, or do they sit back? It's difficult against this City side, and we've watched many games now, Ali, where you feel they sit in, they don't come out. Are they right? It's a fine line, isn't it? They'll probably play him when they can, and then if Mitrovic makes that, the 11, we're just waiting to find out on that. And at that point, they may play direct at times. So, fascinating game, but I think it's all about Manchester City setting that tone, getting momentum after the break.
Well, of course, me and Michael always bring you the commentary available live on City Plus and on the app as well, and we're looking forward very much to bringing it you this afternoon. And remember, top of the Premier League and top of the Championship. Some great ingredients for what should be a cracking cup tie.
Thank you so much to Alistair Mann and Michael Brown. That commentary available on the City app. As always, best place to get your commentary. Now we have your Fulham starting lineup for today's FA Cup 4th round game. Here is the starting 11 for Fulham. So in goal, it's Gazzaniga, Williams, that's Tosin Adebayaro, Ream, Bryan, Reed, Chalobah, Wilson, Calviero, Kibano and Mitrovic. The subs bench today for Fulham: Rodak, Hector, Mawson, Michael Seri, Onama, Kearney, Knockaert, Cavallero and Muniz. That is your Fulham team and 11 and subs for today's game. Now, As we've sort of said, Fulham are absolutely flying in the Championship this season. They are top of the league. They scored 74 goals in the Championship. They are scoring for fun. They score more goals than we do, gents, which is a real rarity. And I want to start by talking to you about Marco Silva, obviously the manager. Joined in July last year. They were relegated. Scott Parker left to go to Bournemouth and they brought him in. What have you made of him and their season so far?
They're doing all right, aren't they? I think if you were to ask the question, is this what you want from a new manager? It's like, yeah, okay, top of the league and running away with it. Yeah, it seems to be going well.
Going for a record, aren't they? The goal scoring record.
How dare they? We had a Fulham fan on the podcast this week, and he said they're currently on course for it.
What was the record?
It was 100,
wasn't it?
107.
I would say 6, but it probably will be 70 these things than I am.
I'm estimating.
Well,
so
they're
I
on
don't know.
74, so what's that, 20, 30 something?
They're probably going to do it. Maybe, hopefully not. Maybe it'll slow down.
And they've got 20 odd games. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How dare they?
I know.
Yeah. Disrespect.
Have you enjoyed their style of football this year from what you've seen?
Just goals and entertaining football. I've really liked that young lad that Liverpool were after. It didn't quite happen, but Carvalho looks a really exciting young player. And Mitrovic is just an absolute brute up front. And they're effective. And obviously, it's hard not to draw the parallels with the Kevin Keegan Man City side when scored loads of goals. But they're a really fun team, quality players, and a lot of players that would probably do really well in the Premiership. And we might be seeing them as well. So obviously, it's great as well seeing Tosin do really good. He seems like a really nice guy, really respected at the club as well, and hopefully he'll be back in the Premier League. But yeah, just a really skillful, confident team with played good football. The goals are the proof of the pudding, really, and it's going to be interesting to see how we get on today.
Yeah, so in terms of the manager, obviously when a club gets relegated, it's really difficult. It affects everybody. Scott Parker left. They've been relegated. They're into the Championship. He comes in, absolutely smashes it in August. Takes 13 out of his first 15 points. Gets the Manager of the Month award for August. Historically, we're seeing some of his games now. His kind of career, he's kind of been a bit all over the place. Managed in Portugal, managed in Greece. Obviously, we know him from Hull, and then Everton as well. So it's been a bit of a journey for him.
I've always found, when City have played against Marco Silva teams in the past, they're really hard to play against, because it's not a case of, you have two types of team, don't you, that are hard to play against. You either have the team that will cause you problems because they're playing through you, or the team that sits back and makes it really tight. Marco Silva's teams don't sit back. They come and have a go at you. And while you watch Pep's football, they obviously want teams to come and have a go and to create that space. But I've always found Marco Silva's teams have been dangerous when they do that. You think of like when they've played Everton, or I think it was Everton in 2018 or so, where it was a really tight game, and it took it took 2 goals late in the halves for City to go on and win that. So I think when you watch. What we should expect from Fulham today is a really aggressive performance. They'll step up and they'll play against City. They're not coming here to try and hold out for extra time and penalties. They're coming here to win the game. And I always think that makes a team a little bit dangerous, especially when they're flying high in their own league.
I'm happy about that, though, because I often find, club teams will come here and they'll sit back and they'll defend, but we want to see a game, don't we?
Yeah, of course. We want to see a team that's absolutely fearless, and not just because it can play in our hands, just because the game is genuinely better for a spectator. And if we're being honest as well, the teams that have come up this season, some teams have got points at us. Southampton were really good here against us, and it's not impossible to get something from Manchester City, and it'd be sensible for Fulham as well, to an extent, to carry on playing the way that they are, because it's almost like a little taster for them ahead of next season if they do go up. So, but also you can't just change it. If Fulham come along and say, right, we're going to stick everybody behind the ball, that's not how they've played for 6 months. It won't work for them, will it?
It won't work. Yeah.
So, in general, there's something to be said for rhythm and consistency. Stick to what they know, and I think Marco Silva is a good enough manager to say to the players, "Look, just be who you are. Be what's working for us, and if it doesn't work, so be it. But give it your best."
Now we've got some really important breaking news. We've just seen while you were chatting there, the players are coming out to warm up. Jack Grealish is still wearing a headband. He's fooled us all. He's had some sort of style where he's still got to wear his kids. Get them headbands out of the bin. Big news today. Yes, Jack, fooled us all.
I had a haircut especially today, just because I thought he'd done the same.
He's fooled us all. How dare he? So, talking about Fulham, the amount of goals they've scored, let's have a word on Mitrovic. Obviously, absolutely and utterly flying. 28 goals in 27 appearances in the Championship. We're going to need to keep an eye on him today, Stephen.
Yeah, he's good. He's an old-fashioned centre-forward as well, but looking at some of his goals on screen now, I would love to. We had someone who was good in the centre of the area, could had the ball like that. But he's a fantastic player. He scored as well in the Premier League when he was up there as well. So Mitrovic is experienced international as well, of course. Absolutely good enough to score goals at any level, and he will take the half chance if he gets one today. So we've got to be really alert. He's also, as a character as well, he's bullish and he's got a sense of occasion as well. He'll be aggressive. He'll give people like Stones and Ake a bit of a tough go.
Just think he's an absolute battering ram, isn't he?
Essentially, yeah, he is a battering ram, and I kind of like that though. He's old school, and he's good, very good.
Just score so many goals. This is a cracking stat I've got for you. In January, they scored 19 goals over 3 matches, making them the first English team since Chester in 33 to score 6 times or more in 3 consecutive fixtures. Now that's
a challenge.
Is a challenge. Yeah. But here's my proof, everyone. There is Jack Grealish.
There's no hair gone at all there. He's had us all.
He's just had it off down the sides, hasn't he?
Was that his brother then who had a haircut?
Because I definitely saw them pictures going around social media. He has tricked us there. He's never giving up that headband, is he?
It's a genius of photo editing, that was surely.
Well, gents, it's been lovely chatting to you. I am going to do my best WWE tag team now, and I'm going to welcome in Kel Spellman while you all watch a wonderful interview that our own Nader Manua has done with Tosin Adebayaro ahead of today's game.
But thank you for that stuff about the academy. And now can we talk about the FA Cup game this weekend? A small matter of a match against Manchester City. And it's fair to say that you guys are flying in the Championship this year. I take it you must be really enjoying being the dominant side in the league, no?
Yeah, definitely. We're playing some very good football. Everyone's enjoying going out there every single game and just going out there to express ourselves. So we're really enjoying our time.
So, you downplayed a little bit, but winning most weeks in the Championship can be very, very enjoyable. That is a nice feeling. And you've got a certain style of play which people really enjoy watching. And how much of that is down to your manager, Marco Silva? Is he a style of play guy? Is he a principal guy? Is he a man motivator? Give us some insight on what he's like.
I think he just wants the whole team to literally go out there and express ourselves, like I just said. We go out there every time to just play our game, and we know we can get results that way. If we play any other way, that's not our way. That's not the way he wants us to play. So we go out there, we play the attacking football that he wants, and we go out there and enjoy and try to get the results.
So attacking football, going to the Etihad then, how does that work? Are you looking forward to that sort of matchup, or do you think it's going to be one of your tougher games of the year?
Yeah, definitely going to be one of the toughest, but we're obviously going to go there and we're still going to try to play our game.
Have you played there before?
Yeah, I played there last season.
And how was that game?
Tough game. I can't remember the result. I think it might have been 3-0 or 2-0, something like that. But it was a tough game, very tough game.
And do you still feel like some type of connection there? Like when you go into the stadium now, do you feel excitement? Do you feel nervousness? How does it feel going back?
It's just exciting, really, to just go back there and obviously play against some former teammates, play against some friends. So it's an enjoyable time.
Do you know what? I love how cool, calm and collected you are. I can see that's how it works with your style of play. Nothing phases you. Because I know tons of other people will be thinking, we're playing Man City this weekend, but obviously that's brilliant from you. And how different would you say this City side is, and City as a club is compared now to what it was when you first joined all those years ago?
It's a completely different club, I'd say. But obviously now we're the City is trying to dominate English football, European football, trying to dominate world football. It's completely different to when I first joined. You have world-class players that have done some amazing things in the game.
And just to clarify, which year did you join?
Would have been either 2003 or 2004.
Okay, the best thing about that, to talk about how far we've come, is because 2004 is when I started playing for City, and now you say they've got world-class players. So thank you very much, Tosin. Thank you very much. No, that was great. Thank you very much.
Well, here we are. Also, Nader Manoa very much showing his age there. Beautiful people. Such a treat to be back with you ahead, of course, this FA Cup tie that we are taking place at the Etihad Stadium against Fulham. My name is Spellman. Massive thank you to Natalie, and a massive thank you to Avanti West Coast, who kept me delayed for a very long time. And one person who has had a haircut is Spellman. So there we are. New year, new me. Gents, so great to be with you. And a final little word on Tosin. I mean, I think he's one of them, you know, we really felt, I think, as the fans, he was going to be maybe one of the first before Phil Foden even to really crack into that first team. But there's kind of no love lost really with Tosin. I think we all just want him to do really well, don't we, David?
That's the thing. And can I just say, I'm the same age as Nadem, so less of the old talk there. With that. But
likewise.
Yeah,
I just like to
I'm older.
I just want to get digs in at Nadem whenever I can because he's a tough man to crack.
But Tosin, I mean, he had a very, very short time in the City first team. He came in and played a few games, but the games he played, he was solid, and we all had that. You always have that attachment, don't you, to players that come through the ranks. And you watch as he's moved on, and last season we spent a lot of time with the Fulham games going, actually, I'm kind of hope he does all right, and I kind of hope he does well. And yeah, it's a shame that they've gone down, but you know, it looks like he's flying in the team, and it looks like they'll be coming back up with a hell of a centre half on the hands.
They really, really will. And it's that thing, isn't it, Stephen? It's kind of nothing on his talent. Timing's always the thing. I remember Jolien talks about it quite a lot. Timing is everything for being a young player, trying to get into the first team of a big club. And it was just that little bit, I think, too early for Tosin, wasn't it?
It's mostly about luck, honestly. Like a slight tangent. I read an article that suggested the club told James McAtee that you can go on loan if you want to, but imagine some other players get injured. Someone else is going to get those minutes. It's something about being around, essentially taking the most of any opportunities that come your way. And Tosin probably didn't always have maybe the little bit of luck he needed to get a run of games, but he's going to become probably, in my opinion, a very good Premier League player. He might even one day make it into the English squad, you know, if you establish yourself in the Premier League. He's only young still. Either way, that is a success for him as a person. It's a success for the club as well as an academy to give them this career at a high level. We forget that the Championship's a really high level already, as it is. And I think Tosin's a fantastic footballer, and he seems to be getting better and better as well, because obviously he's playing regularly.
I think it's important as well, what Stephen's just said there. The club academy isn't judged on the players that come through to City. It's judged on the players that get a career in football. And you know, it might not be that they come through and they play for City, but it's another example of a player that's come through the ranks and has had a solid. Always looks like they're going to get a solid career in the game.
There was a great little quote as well. I think it was someone who I can't remember his name. One of the high up staff in the academy talks about got a good relationship with Leeds, and it was their sporting director who said, "Do you have any players for me that didn't quite make it at City?" And I think that just goes to show, you know, when they don't make it here, they can probably make it almost anywhere else, really, can't they?
Yeah, that's the thing. And there's a lot of competition, as Stephen says, for first team places. You do need a bit of luck to get that opportunity. You need, you know, somebody to be injured, or you need to be in the right place at the right time. And some players just don't get that. That doesn't mean that they're bad players. It doesn't mean that they're going to. That if they leave City, we go, actually, no, I don't care what happens to them anymore. It's very much a case of, he came through City, he was all right. I quite like him. Let's hope he does well.
He'll do all right.
Not today.
Yeah, not today. No, of course, and we're talking about that because, of course, in about half an hour's time, there is going to be our FA Cup tie against Fulham taking place, and of course, the magic of the cup. I think we all have a real kind of, well, I do, a very special place in my heart for the FA Cup, and it comes with some highs and it comes with some lows, and we're going to talk about some FA Cup sex. Cup sets up, listen, we're working on it. There was an upset yesterday on the other side of Manchester. Unlucky. That's a shame, isn't it? Poor Middlesbrough, buzzing, well played. But we won't dwell on that. What we will dwell on is...
We will dwell on it. Absolutely will.
What do you have to say? Do you have any comments on the old Middlesbrough game yesterday, Stephen?
They just seem to make me laugh every month without fail. So thank you, is what I will say. Thank you for constantly being a source of amusement for me as a Manchester City fan. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of recompense for the 90s, isn't it?
It really is. We need this, man. We've earned it.
You grow up in inner city Manchester in the 90s, and you know, it's kind of like I don't think in my wildest dreams I would have seen quite how the tables have flipped. But,
no, it feels like that, don't we? Genuinely, the other way around, and it's glorious. It's glorious.
It's funny you say that because you can kind of say I think it was a real moment for all City fans was that semi-final against Manchester United. That's when the tables were turning, and of course that was a beautiful moment. But if we're going to look at the other sides, there's a big moment that stands out for me when you're talking about upsets, which was the Wigan game, and I was there with
which one?
We don't go there.
we have to. Come on, we talk about a lot of good things in the show, but we wanted to try and remember those moments that are just that leave that bitter taste in the mouth. I remember we'd obviously, as many City fans had done, drove all the way to London. There was myself, my dad, granddad, 3 uncles, 4 cousins. And you could see it happening in that game, couldn't you?
But I mean, death, taxes, and City lose to Wigan in the FA Cup. That's what happens. What is it? 3 now? 3 times that they've knocked City out now since 2013.
It's just
like you draw. Like if Wigan are still in the cup, you go, well, there's always a danger.
Yeah, there really is.
The draw is like Liverpool, Chelsea, Wigan.
Just avoid Wigan, and you'll be all right. Yeah?
Dare I say this, Stephen? Now, given the well-oiled machine that Manchester City is, I can't ever really see. I mean, not anything can happen in a game of football, of course.
No,
don't do this.
But there is something in now. You kind of look at the team and the players, and it would be very hard for something like that to happen now.
It comes from Pep. It comes from Pep. I mean, I'm a nervous Manchester City fan in general, but the last few years, Pep's been working his way around into my head to try and calm my fears constantly. And I feel it's because we know how seriously he takes these competitions, and we know how seriously he'll get into the players, and he's not going to be sitting back and just relaxing with this. There's a focus in this Manchester City group in general that makes them such serial winners. 10 trophies in Pep Guardiola's era already. It's absolutely fantastic, and something that I never thought I would see as a City fan. And that's not because they don't take things seriously. It's the exact opposite. So Fulham won't be thinking today that City are going to give them an easy time. They'll know that we'll play to the level that we'll play against Liverpool and everyone else and so on, because this City side are ultra focused, and it does relax your fears. There's always a chance of an upset, of course, but I guess maybe it used to be a fear that we'd probably take our eye off the ball a little bit. I just don't have that feeling anymore.
Not one of those players is walking out of that tunnel going, it's going to be an easy game today.
Because look at the bench. If they don't play, they'll be off because of the quality of the squad. And success breeds success. You know, it really does. And in this instance, this squad is just built on that.
What's been so brilliant as well is, I think, with the new deals that have been signed this week, and you hear the players talk about what it's like in training, it's like they don't even like to lose in a little game in training, let alone on the pitch. It just seems that the standards now are so high that they either hold themselves that, and if they don't, someone's going to be in your ear telling you need to.
Yeah, and I mean, it must be exhausting. Like, it must be. Can you imagine going into work every day and somebody going, well, if you don't perform to the high standards today, then I'm coming for you for your job.
It's the famous Pep thing from the documentary. I won't say the exact word, but you're tired.
That
is a brutish mentality. Well, absolutely, it'd be horrible. But essentially, they weed out the people who can't handle it, don't they? And they really do. And this is what Guardiola creates. He builds a team around his own personal image of intense dedication and desire. And I sometimes sit there and just think we are really witnessing the great times with this club right now. And
there's many young lads who grow up hoping to become a footballer for City, and I can sometimes wonder, actually, maybe I lucked out and not doing that, because I don't have to do all the running all the time under Pep Guardiola. I mean, my ability and skill level is probably done for me anyway, but just in case.
Well, speaking of documentaries, actually, Stephen, there is a name that is synonymous with Manchester City fans, and arguably you'd say you'd love to see him in a Pep Guardiola side. That man is King Clancy. And of course, as you'll know, there are many great documentaries coming out on City Plus, which is our streaming service. You can sign up now, you get a little free trial, and then, do you know what? It's well worth your time, because you've got Kevin De Bruyne documentaries, you've got Edison documentaries, and released on Thursday, we've now got a King Clancy documentary.
King Clancy will try and beat his man, and suddenly space opens up. Still King Clancy inside the penalty area. This will be a fantastic goal. Oh, that's mesmeric. It's sublime, and it's typically Georgi King Clancy.
When relegation-threatened managers refer to the business end of the season, this, presumably, is the sort of game they're talking about. These sides are separated by a mere 2 points.
There I was, 37 minutes into a game on the 16th of March 1996, sitting there commentating for Match of the Day's highlights that night, and you're hoping for the best, but you're not necessarily expecting to have a world-class moment, or indeed something that lasts a quarter of a century plus in terms of the affection for it, and it still being a talking point.
And front centre. Clark.
I mean, the first thing to bear in mind is this took 9 seconds. From receiving the ball close to the halfway line, not far in from the near touchline, just down below our commentary position, with the Capacs on the far side as a vast swathe of humanity hoping for something special. It took 9 seconds for him to weave his way past half the Southampton team.
Kinkladze will try and beat his man, and suddenly space opens up. Still Kinkladze.
And then he was faced with Lurch, the famous nickname for Dave Besant. And the way that he tempted him to go to the floor by twice dummying. And as the goalkeeper went down, that wand of a left foot just caressed the ball into a gaping net. In that instant where he scored, I knew this was a really special moment. But I wasn't thinking, I wonder if I'll be doing an interview about this 26 years on.
Inside the penalty area, this will be a fantastic goal. Oh, that's mesmeric. It's sublime, and it's typically Georgi Kinkladze.
Do you want to hear my Kinkladze story quickly?
Yeah,
get on this. Honestly, and this is genuine. I got the last shirt he signed as a City player before he left. My dad knew it was a member of staff who basically used to look after any of the overseas players, and he took him to the airport, but my dad had given him my shirt, and as he left the car, our friend said, "Can you sign this?" And that was the last shirt he signed before he got off.
Amazing.
There you go.
I've got a little mini Kinkladze story if anybody wants to
share. This is a sharing space.
I tried to get him on the podcast, and he was a registered agent for a while. So I tried to get him on the podcast and got hold of his number through him being an agent. Phoned him up, pretended he couldn't speak English. So he didn't want to do it.
I kind of love him even more for it in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just no, I don't fancy this. But no, just sorry, I don't speak English.
Fair enough. Kinkladze, we love you. Listen, get your eyes and ears around that documentary. It came out on Thursday. City Plus is the place to do it. Don't forget as well, Manchester City app is where you can get our matchday commentary. It's Michael Brown and Alistair Mann who are going to guide us through today's fixture against Fulham in the FA Cup. Right, we want to hear your thoughts as always. Remember, you can be getting in touch via our WhatsApp. You can also drop us a little tweet at Man City or use the hashtag Man City. We also want to know what our fans think, and we can now go to, and I'm so buzzing with this, Big Steve. I don't know him, but I feel like I know him. Here he is giving his thoughts ahead of our game against Fulham in the stadium right now.
Steve, thanks for joining us. It seems a long time ago since City played, but also equally a longer time since they played here at the Etihad. So how excited are you to be back today?
No, I'm really excited. I'm just getting a bit emotional today. It seems, like you say, it's been a long time. Just walking up here in the Manchester rain, the atmosphere, as you can hear, it's getting lively. It's the FA Cup. Yeah, I'm really excited.
What does the FA Cup mean to you and to the fans at Manchester City?
I mean, it's brilliant. The FA Cup's always been a great competition in England, but since we won it, the Stoke one especially, when we got the hoodoo off our back, and then we won it again against Watford, it's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, and Man City's had some great cup games over the years, and yeah, this is hopefully the start of another good cup run.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. In this sort of decade of dominance, there's been countless trophies. The 4 in a row in the Carabao Cup, but only 2 FA Cups. Would you swap 2 Carabao Cups in that run for an FA Cup?
I mean, the Wigan FA Cup defeat hurt. I don't know. The Carabao Cup's got its own little bit of nostalgia with City fans. But yeah, go on, we'll swap 2 Carabaos. We've got too many, and we'll take an FA Cup.
You've seen the team news.
Yep.
What do you make of Pep's selections today?
He's gone strong. He never disrespects the competition. He always puts a strong line-up. It's going to be a full house today. We've got a couple of the young lads on the bench, Delap and McAtee, and I think it's going to be a great game of football. I'm looking forward to it.
What are you expecting from Fulham? Because it's quite intriguing in the fact that it's top of the Premier League versus top of the Championship today.
Listen, Fulham playing well. They're scoring goals. It's got banana skin written all over it. I've seen some pundits say it could be tough for City. We've definitely got to be on our ball. We've got to show these Championship teams why we're top of the Premier League, and we've just got to get the job done. As we seen last night, it's not easy in the Championship.
The goals are absolutely flowing for both sides, but particularly Fulham with Mitrovic up top. What are you expecting from them today? Are they going to attack City?
I think they will. I think, it's a big day out for them. They've got great support. Well, and like you say, our centre halves, Stones and Ake, have got to be on it today. He's a big physical striker, and I just think we've just got to do what Man City do. We've got to dominate possession, keep control of the ball, and like you say, they're not going to be used to this pace that we're going to set today. And if we set the bar high enough, I think we win the game.
Will the winter break have affected anything, do you think, in terms of the City squad?
I hope not. I think it could be a blessing. I think our lads have played a lot of games, really high intensity, So for them to go away and enjoy it with the families and have a break, I think they're going to come back fresh. So I'm expecting us to be fresh today.
And final one from me then. What's your match prediction today?
I'm going to go for Manchester City 3, Fulham 1.
That's perfect. Thank you very much, Steve. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Love that, Big Steve. 3-1 confident. I'll tell you what, that's kind of close to what I was thinking. Of course, going to get your predictions, gents, before we do obviously wrap up the show, before the game, which is about to kick off. I'd say in around, if I'm being precise, 17 minutes time. 17 minutes till kick off here at the Etihad Stadium. Now, speaking of the FA Cup, I think there is a game which you mentioned before, which I think really, for most Manchester City fans, signified that shift in momentum when it comes to our rise, obviously, which we've all enjoyed over the last 10 years. That semi-final against Manchester United. David, what are your memories of that game?
This is a story. Yeah. I wasn't in the country.
I was
I was in New York. We were on a family holiday because my mum had But my mum had said, well, let's go away that weekend because it's Tottenham at home and they never beat Tottenham at home, or FA Cup semi-final. They're never in the FA Cup semi-final. So let's go away. And so we're in New York, and it was the early kick-off on the day. So it was an even earlier kick-off. I know it was the late kick-off, so it was a lunchtime kick-off in New York. And I was stuck on the highway for the first half, so I didn't see any of it. I had no mobile internet, nothing like that. I couldn't get the updates. And we got to this bar at half-time where there was me, my dad, and my mum, and a couple of family friends watching it, and a single United fan sat next to me.
Of course.
And we asked the bar, can you put the FA Cup on? And I'm not going to do an American accent because I can't. But they were just completely nonplussed by what this competition was from England. They were cycling through the channels and got it. And so I got in time to see the goal. I saw the red card. I saw the end of it. It was fine. And in a weird way, it was really good for the nerves because not knowing is actually it's fine.
Yeah,
you don't have to suffer through any of the kind of game. You just
enjoy the best bits.
Enjoy the best bits.
Well, there we go. Well, David.
So my memories are not really that great. I'm sorry.
Well, Steve, we'll get yours in just a sec, but we're going to hear as well from some of our fans, of course, talking about that very memorable game and very memorable day.
FA Cup semi-final 2011, City United, Wembley. That was, for me, the moment the power shifted in Manchester.
Manchester City 1, Manchester United 0, FA Cup semi-final. What can we say?
I think we were just so used to their relentless dominance that we thought, it's nice to be here. I think we were just happy to be there. But we didn't really see ourselves yet as favourites, as the better side.
I'm so unbelievably nervous. Of course I'm going to be nervous, it's a derby. But it was also our first chance of getting into the FA Cup final in 30 years.
For me, this was a mentality change in Manchester. This is when we really started to believe that we could win the big trophies. Yaya Toure skipping through the Man United defence, sliding it under the goalkeeper's legs. Giving us that victory, sending us to the FA Cup final where we won it against Stoke.
If you could mark 1 second out of the last 10 to 15 years of when things shifted from red to blue, that goal would be it.
I didn't appreciate at the time how much of a seminal moment that was going to be for us as a football club.
As good as the Carabao Cup has been to us in recent years, for me the FA Cup will have a special place in my heart because that was the moment, not only for the power shift in Manchester, but that was the one that, when we won it, it was, City, we can win stuff, we're actually capable of winning things. And obviously from there it just snowballed more than anyone could ever expect.
And 10 years on, you know what I mean, how it's changed. Manchester City now dominating English football, the FA Cup, great competition. All started from the Yaya Toure semi-final for me. That night was special to us Blues, we'll never forget it.
Gets me that. we were fortunate enough to be there with that. It was myself, again, the whole Spellman crew, my dad, my granddad, and all of us, and it was a real moment. And I think even then in the ground and after the result, you did feel there was a shift in that momentum, Stephen. And from there, it's kind of, well, the rest is kind of history, isn't it?
I didn't think we were going to win that day. I didn't.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. Honestly, that's the honest thing. That typical City thing was still very much embedded into my head, and I feel like after growing up in the 90s and 2000s and watching United constantly crush any hope and joy I ever had, I presumed they were going to do it on that day too. And I guess I didn't really know what was coming. And I guess a lot of City fans didn't really know what was coming either. And that day was momentous because it felt earned as well. You know, it felt earned.
Well, they deserved to win.
We deserved to win.
Yeah,
we were the better
100%.
side, you know. And what I loved about it, how much the symmetry of what Manchester City became and the goal in terms of it was a powerful goal. It's the way he brushed them aside as well. It was very much putting them in their place and saying, we are the big boys now in this town. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I used to watch a lot of derbies with my best mate. It's very hard to organise now.
Yeah,
it really is, you know. I bet it is.
I bet it is.
It's funny that, isn't it? It's funny. I mean, there's a pandemic issue, admittedly, but still, either way, that's when it all changed for me. That moment, it did change. It did change.
There was a great. I really hope it's true, but I know that there was a story floating around that there was a Vieira team talk that was given, and also a Yaya Toure team talk that was given in the semi-final, then the final, and I guess as well, you kind of needed those players. You know, we were speaking about signings this week in the group, weren't you? And that Vieira one is brilliant because actually you kind of needed someone who's been there, done that, and could say, listen, what are we going to do? You're either going to step up now to the plate or you're just going to carry on not quite getting there. And that game really felt like that, David.
Well, humble brag time.
Go on.
I interviewed Vieira after that game. Ahead of the FA Cup final.
David, you just dropped that there.
And when I asked the question to the club, can I come in and interview him? They went, yeah, he loves talking about the FA Cups that he's won. And that, to me, that's perfect because they didn't have anybody in the dressing room who had won something with. I mean, none of those players had won anything with City. Most of them, I don't think, had won anything away from City. It's a huge mental hurdle to get over. And you look at someone like Vieira saying, "Yeah, I've won it 4 times already. Here's what you need to do."
Yeah.
I mean, who better to hold your hand through that situation? Even if he's not on the pitch, even if he's not, there, and he comes on. He came on as a sub in the final. I think he came on as a sub in the semi-final.
I think he
did,
yeah, for the last 10-15 or something.
So to have somebody with that experience come in and just go, listen, lads, I've got this. It must put you at so much ease.
Yeah, it was golden. And as I say, the rest really is history, and we are forever grateful for it. Okay, we love hearing from you. As I say, please do get in touch via WhatsApp. But we also love hearing from you around the ground. So we can now go to some of our fans who are in the stadium to give us their thoughts. Here they are.
So, Jane, welcome back to the Etihad. It's been a while. It's been a while since the Southampton game as well. How are you feeling ahead of today's game?
Really looking forward to it, really excited. Love my days out of the Etihad, so it's nice to be back.
And how special is the FA Cup?
I think the FA Cup, it means a lot to City fans. Everyone loves a day out at Wembley. We love kind of going down, supporting the team, so trying to get to another cup final is a big part of today.
You've seen the team. What do you make of it?
I'm pleased with it. Pep's gone strong. I'm glad to see the likes of De Bruyne and Foden and things playing. So I think it's a good team, paying Fulham the respect they deserve by going strong enough. Hopefully, we definitely should have enough to win the game.
You're hoping to see some youngsters as well, maybe later on?
Yeah, possibly. We've had, the likes of McAtee signing his new contract this week. So, seeing some of those youngsters on the pitch, I think I've always enjoyed watching the academy team play. So it's really good to always see them get a chance.
And then I'm going to put you on the spot. Can I get a match prediction from you?
I'm going to go for a 4-0 today. Hopefully, quite a good win for us. Lots of goals involved.
First goal scorer?
Foden.
That's great. Thank you very much. Okay, well, it seems a while since City last played here. How much are you looking forward to today?
I'm really looking forward to the match today, and it's so nice that it's a sellout for the cup game. And I'm looking forward to seeing them play Fulham because it's a really good tie, and they will be up for the match, and it should be a very exciting match.
Top of the Premier League versus top of the Championship. What are you expecting? Goals?
Well, I think we can beat them. I'm really expecting that we'll beat them 5-1. I normally predict 4-1, and we normally win 4-0 or something, but on this occasion I'm going to go for 5-1 because they've got some, Mitrovic is playing well, and they're scoring some easy goals when they're playing, so I think that Fulham will will try and score anyway. But I think City will come back even stronger.
What do you make of the team that Pep Guardiola's named today?
Much stronger than I expected. I think he's got a really strong back line. And it's good to see Aki in the back line because he adds a threat on our set pieces, our corners and stuff like that. And we've got a strong midfield as well. Good to see Mahrez back in the team. I wasn't expecting him to come back so soon. And obviously Foden will be good to have. Yes, I think we've got a good team.
And how special is the FA Cup for City fans?
Oh, incredibly special. I think when I went to the FA Cup final, about 3 years ago, it was amazing being there, and I just, it's just one of those cups that you really want to win.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much and enjoy the game today.
All right, thank you. Thanks.
Welcome back to the Etihad. It seems it's been a while, really. How much are you looking forward to today?
I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to every game at the moment, just because it's just been a few years. So at least I'm here now, here every game. So yeah, it's good.
And what does the FA Cup mean to you? I mean, City have won it a couple of times in the last decade or so. Obviously, more success in the Carabao. But what does the FA Cup mean to fans?
It's just a historic trophy, isn't it? Best trophy in England. So yeah, it's great.
And you've seen the team news. What are you expecting today? Are you pleased that it's a strong team?
Yeah, I'm pleased with the team. Strong team. Lots of senior players out there. I expect to get a win, to be honest. It's good to see a couple of youth players on the bench as well.
Players like Riyad Mahrez are back, obviously, after AFCON. Are you looking forward to seeing what he can get back?
Yeah, good to see Mahrez back. It's been a month without him. We don't have many games while he was gone, to be honest, but still always good to see him play.
And what are you expecting from Fulham? Because it's quite an intriguing clash. Top of the Premier League versus top of the Championship.
Yeah, they've been a good form recently, haven't they? Championship, so it's going to be good to see how it goes.
And finally, what's your match prediction?
I expect to score at least 3 goals, so yeah, should be about 4-1, I say.
4-1?
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right, well, thank you very much, and enjoy the game.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Cheers.
We're predicting goals. That was 4-1 there. We had 5-1 as well. Massive thank you to Jane, Judy and Lewis there. Of course, they are from some of the official supporters club around Manchester for Manchester City, and it's great to hear from them and get their thoughts. As we can see, the players are in the tunnel, so not long before we're going to hand over, of course, to Alistair Mann and Michael Brown, who've got your commentary on the City app. Before that, though, let me give you our second clue for whose stats. You've had the first one. The second clue is this. This player has the most touches in the Premier League this season, and to my left, you will not have seen, but both David and Stephen both gave a collective. No, we got this. You've got it.
Yeah.
So if you want to get your guesses in, you can either use the, of course, us on Twitter at Man City, hashtag Man City, or drop us a little WhatsApp as well. And I'll give you a third clue at half time, so make sure you come and join us for that. So, gents, we've had a few predictions already in the show, a few goals. Now it's your turn. David, I'll begin with you. What are you thinking and feeling?
Plenty of goals. Fulham are scoring, City are scoring. I can't see this being a tight 0-0, I'll be honest with you.
0-0 is that?
I'm going to go 3-1 City.
3-1, lovely. What about yourself, Stephen?
I'm going to say we might keep a clean sheet.
Ooh.
Yeah, no one seems to have gone for that so far, because presumably they score a lot of goals, but I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0, lovely. All right, gents, an absolute pleasure as always. And also, by the way, beautiful tops. They will forever be my favourite.
I can't believe we came wearing the same outfit. It was so good a coincidence.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
Really. I didn't get the memo, so I see how it is. But listen, gents, of course, we're going to be back at half-time. We're also going to be back at full-time. But for now, of course, we're going to hand over to Alistair Mann and Michael Brown. And a massive thank you to you for tuning in and watching. And I will say again, massive thank you to Nat for looking after it. All right, the gents are in the tunnel. They're coming out. One final thing for me to say is, come on, City.
So after a 2-week international break, City are back in action with what looks like an intriguing FA Cup duel.